are not beepers or beepers, whatever you have, handheld devices. Also, if you're taking any photographs or filming this today, with the exception of the house that's filming it, and we also have a professional photographer here too. Just taking like the first 15 minutes so it doesn't become a distraction later on. You all know where the exits are. They're back there in case of an emergency. Nobody's got any babies here. If you all have a baby here or maybe a young child, if you could go to the back and sit, then we can be a better assistance if there's anything we need to do for you. I'd also like to direct you to the Temple of Hip Hop website. It's www.templeofhiphop.org. It's www.templeofhiphop.org. We got a bunch of lessons up there for the general public. We also have special memberships. You can register online and you get special teachings. You get things early. We got DVDs coming up on there. We got concerts. We got lectures. We might even have this lecture up on there. So look for that as well. Other than that, the teacher got a new album out. If you all want to go check it out in the stores, now it's called Live. And we got another album project with Marley Marl as well that they're working on, the 20th anniversary of BDP. So actually, one of the students here, Jamal's got a word to say to y'all. And if you have any CDs that you want the teacher to get or listen to, some music CDs or any gifts, please give them to me so he can keep his hands free. And I'll make sure that he gets them after the show. Other than that, my name is Inaru, and I'm here to help you. So peace, everybody. Peace.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to see you here. My name is Jamar Beasley, also known as DJ Future Shock. And before we start with tonight's presentation, let's thank our sponsors, the Center for Culture, Gender, and Sexuality, ASP, Sonoma Student Union, and Instructionally Related Activities Fund, and Black Scholars United. Can you hear me? When it comes to hip-hop, no one is as consistent and influential as KRS-ONE. It is impossible to discuss hip-hop's history without discussing KRS-ONE. His reputation as both a live performer and as hip-hop's teacher has reached mythic proportions. As activist and author Travis Smiley has put it, you are going to encounter a man who has sincerely sought to develop a relevant, honest, and contemporary interpretation of world history, culture, religion, and philosophy. In many ways, his work actually rests in the tradition of great thinkers like W.E.B. Du Bois, Carter Woodson, and John Henry Clark, men who have sought to develop a cultural field through which to interpret the seeming insanity of America. Regardless whether or not you agree with his analysis, you certainly should appreciate that there is a profound mind at work and definitive spirit that is searching to discover what is exact and right. Chris Parker, aka KRS-ONE, which is also known as knowledge reigns supremely over nearly everything, is the embodiment of philosophical, sociological, and political worldview exposed originally by those that participate in hip-hop's culture. KRS-ONE is presently one of the most outspoken leaders of hip-hop's culture and politics. Having lectured at over 500 universities, over a 15-year period, KRS-ONE has been honored by the United Nations, VH1, Billboard Magazine, the Source Magazine, the Riverside Church in New York, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and Oxford University students and professors in England. His integration of hip-hop and metaphysical knowledge resonates throughout the music, lectures, and writings of the hip-hop community. And they can't get enough of it. Not only is KRS-ONE widely considered the best live hip-hop MC of all time, by Jay-Z, and you gotta mention Sublime, Mos Def, Dr. Dre. They're just among the few that have either sampled or covered KRS-ONE classic rap material. KRS-ONE is an author, MC, hip-hop activist who has, within a 20-year period, published 3 classic hip-hop books, including The Science of Rap, Ruminations, and the Gospel of Hip Hop. Also founded 3 hip-hop activist organizations: the Stop the Violence Movement, Human Education Against Lies, and the Temple of Hip Hop, which you are sitting in right now. and has released 15 classic rap albums. KRS-ONE has also produced numerous rock, rap, R&B, reggae, and gospel artists, selling millions of recordings and receiving numerous certified gold, platinum, and sales awards. But CD sales have never been KRS-ONE's strength nor his main focus. As for KRS-ONE, he's even said himself, he'd rather have, I'll repeat in his words, I'd rather have 100 of the right people buying my albums than having 1 million of the wrong people buying my albums. I'm trying to influence the next leader's generation with my music. For KRS-ONE, hip-hop is not just rap music. Rap is something that is done, while hip-hop is something that is lived. For KRS-ONE, hip-hop is an empowering lifestyle capable of raising one's self-worth and his own life. With his own life, he has certainly proved that. Thank you. Thank you as I present to you KRS-ONE. Let's go!
Wow, what an intro that was. That's crazy. First of all, wow. Oh, thank you. And this light in my face is very bright, so I really can't even see most of you in here. I'm going to get right to the point, because we have a lot to discuss tonight in a short period of time. When I walked in here earlier, I saw a sign outside that said, the hip-hop movement, KRS-ONE live in person. And I want to try to stick with that. Because to discuss hip-hop at all, you are discussing a movement. You're discussing a cultural movement. We're going to get into the deeper parts of hip-hop, and hopefully you can help us with the birth and growth of our culture, and hopefully we can give you some information that may help you through your college experience, as well as in life itself. I was in the back talking to a few colleagues as well that I just met, and we were talking about the use of education and of knowledge and of your degree or validation of your career, professionalism. What is the value in this? What are you pursuing higher education for? We started to talk about the majors, some psychology majors, business majors, this kind of thing, so on. And immediately our conversation began. We started to talk about how hip-hop relates to that. Let me go through a few things. I'm going to talk about hip-hop from a political point of view, a spiritual point of view, and an educational point of view. Let's start with education. Hip-hop 101. Rap is something that we do. Hip-hop is something that we live. Hip-hop is a consciousness. It is a behavior. It is a way to view the world. It is an attitude. It's a certain attitude. It's a certain sight. A way to view the world. Alternative behavior. Out of this behavior, this view of the world, you get rapping or MCing, breaking, breakdancing or b-boying, graffiti art, burning, bombing, piecing, tagging. I love it. Graffiti writing, and of course DJing, cutting, mixing, scratching. Now, these elements come out of the hip-hop consciousness. You can't listen to hip-hop, really. You're listening to rap music. You're listening to a rapper and a DJ perform together, and that creates rap music. Hip-hop is the feeling, the attitude, the inspiration that made them rap in the beginning. Hip-hop is the motivation to break dance. It's the motivation to do graffiti art. That's hip-hop. Hip-hop began in 1973 with a guy named Kool Herc. Hip-hop, in its essence, meaning as consciousness, as awareness, it really has no beginning. And I must say this at the beginning. Hip-hop has no beginning, really. And I'll get into that later in more esoteric, spiritual, but it has no real beginning. But in history, in written history, it becomes popular in 1973. A guy by the name of Kool DJ Herc is a Jamaican immigrant. As you know, Jamaica gets its independence from England in 1962. Jamaican immigrants start flooding the United States, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens in particular, these boroughs. In the Bronx borough, one such Jamaican was named Kool DJ Herc. Herc, they called him Hercules because he was a big guy, he was muscular, all this. So they called him Kool Herc. Kool Herc was a graffiti writer. He used to write his name all over the neighborhood, Kool Herc. Now, what made him do that? This is where you get into the discussion on hip-hop. Let's look at 1973. First of all, political corruption is at its all-out highs. Drugs, guns, police corruption on the local level is at its highs. The Bronx was described by Melly Mel in this way. He said, broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the station like they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise, got no money to move out. I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with a baseball bat. This was the Bronx in 1973. Some people were candy coated. They said, that's not all that the Bronx was about. And I would argue, yes, it was. That's it. A good way to look at the Bronx, realistically, in 73, is to get a movie called Wild Style. It's a very famous hip-hop movie by director named Charlie Ahern. The movie Wild Style shoots on location in the Bronx in 1981. In 81, the Bronx was fixed up. When you see what the Bronx looks like in that movie, you're going to wonder, how did people even live there? What was it? What was on their mind? How can you live in an abandoned building like that? How can you, I'll give you another movie. The Black Panthers by Mario Van Peebles. In this movie, they have a scene where the Italian mafia and the FBI are sitting down together on a yacht, plotting to put heroin, cocaine, and guns into the Black and Latino community to disrupt the civil rights movement. Now, this was called a counterintelligence program, or COINTELPRO in history. COINTELPRO was all over my hood. You may read about this stuff in readings, books. But you're listening to someone who really lived through it. And that's why my conversation is a little unorthodox. You can get the mainstream version just by going to your library. But please pay very close attention to the perspective I'm giving you now. This perspective will not be mainstream for another 20 years. You can learn of it now. What do you learn now? Society is a hoax. The whole thing is an illusion. This was the first lesson we learned as a community called hip-hop. 1973, the police are beating us in the streets. The drug dealers are shooting us in the streets. You either go to the Vietnam War, at the time that was the war for democracy. You either go to the Vietnam War and do that, or you waste your life away on the streets. Those who could afford it went to college. 1973, Kool Herc says, there's nothing else for me here. I came from Jamaica, which is way worse than America, way worse than the Bronx. But I thought I was stepping up. I actually just stepped over it. Here I am in the Bronx, all these kids running around, no justice, no peace, no education, no jobs, poor housing. What am I going to do? Well, let me start writing my name. This is the mentality right here. All I got to do all day, I have nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing. I wake up in the morning, I don't even have anything to eat. I'm just, the day is just here. What do I do? I hook up with a few of my friends. Hey, what's up, man? What you doing? Nothing. What you doing? Nothing. What we gonna do? Nothing. But check this out, man. Last week, check this rhyme out. I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing and singing, gleaming and dreaming. You don't have to translate. I'm gonna take this rhyme right here, and I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing. You like that, man? Yo, I think that's hot. I think that's really hot, man. Yo, do it again. I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing. Wow, man, you could do that? Man, that's pretty cool, man. Now, keep in mind, these are two individuals in the Bronx. There is nothing in the Bronx. There's no money. We're both hungry. We got nothing. I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing. You like that, man? Yeah, I like that. Now, the two of us start walking down the block. Yo, kick that rhyme again. I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing. You meet a couple of your other friends. You say, yo, they may not know your friend here. You say, yo, this is my man right here. You know what I'm saying? We traveling together. So your other friends be like, okay, so what's up, man? What's going on? Yo, man, kick that rhyme that you told me. Tell it to them. Oh, okay. I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing. Wow. That's hot. Yo, man, what do you think? Yo, Now, stop here for a minute. This is how hip-hop began. And this is an added advice to your careers, whatever they may be. I'll keep going. Here we go. By one person validating another one, power is created. We learned this lesson, number one. The more I turn to my friend and I say, man, you ain't nobody, man, you whack, man, you ain't this, you ain't that. Not only do I degrade him or her, but I degrade myself because I'm standing next to him or her. I say, man, let's give you an example. He says, the MC says, I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing. And then you say, that's garbage. You and him remain broke. But you say, yo, man, kick that rhyme. I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing. Yo, that's hot, man. Yo, that's what, you know what? You got a real talent. Now, suddenly, this person is saying, you're right. I don't have a talent. I can't do this. Now you're also standing now next to a talented person. But here it is. Now the two of us are special. Why? Because we complemented each other. This is lesson number one. First, compliment the person next to you. And the two of you create value. It is that simple. The more you sit here criticizing the people, even if they are garbage in their skill, even if you look at something and say, man, this is crazy. It's not valuable to you. to degrade other people because then you have to stand next to them, and your own degradation degrades yourself. If you pick people up and compliment people and give people inspiration, you empower yourself, because that person, you've given them power, and the return of that power is your friendship. I'm down with him. And for those that aren't bilingual, down means I am part of, I am loyal to, I am a colleague of. I'm down with him. Now, the two of you now have power. You have no money. Nobody knows you. You're living in a war zone. But suddenly, the two of you have power. How'd you get the power? One guy is speaking the Ron. The other one acknowledges it and inspires it. Now the two of you are walking. This guy got the talent, you got the inspiration. So all you do is start talking. Yo, this guy right here, yo man, he is the one. Yo, pick your rhyme. I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing. Oh, see, I told you. See, look, why don't y'all line up over here? Lesson 1, let's move to lesson 2. This is how hip hop began. After we started validating ourselves in the hood, we started validating our own selves. University wasn't validating us. Mainstream America was about. We were called Generation X. That was what our political title was. Generation X. You don't exist. We are waiting for your kind to die. That is what we grew up in the 1970s. That's what we grew up in. Take that and now move into, you got talent, I'm your man. You spit your talent, you speak your talent to other people. They recognize your talent. Suddenly now we're popular. Now here's rule number 2. Number 2. You got talent? Yeah. I'm your man, right? Yeah. All right, let's go out here and do this. I'm going to speak on your behalf, and every time I point the finger, you kick that rhyme. You got it? Yeah, we're going to do this. But wait, you still don't have no money. How are we going to do this? Well, why don't we just go outside on the street corner and say our rhymes? And whoever walks by, we'll ask them for $1. We'll put a hat on the floor. And we'll put a boom box out, or we'll put a huge portable radio and with a hat, and we'll see what happens. Just play a beat, and let's see what happens. We ain't got no money. We have nothing to lose. Nothing. So we go out to the corner. We got a little boom box. We put it down. Boom, play the beat. I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing. I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing. I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing. After a while, the crowd starts coming around. Why is there a crowd around? Because crowds come around crazy people. Never forget that in marketing. Crowds will always get, if you want to get a crowd, do or say something crazy. And a crowd instantly comes around. And what is crazy? Crazy is outside of the norm. When we first started, we were crazy. We went right outside on the corner of 42nd Street and Times Square. That was the spot. And we would go right out there on 42nd Street, Times Square, the center, and start running. I keep on ringing and singing until your ears is ringing. Beat playing, tourists would come by and start dropping dollars in that. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing? Gonna give me $50 by the end of the day? Oh, get it now. I got to do this first for free. And if I'm talented, people will pay for my talent later. Remember this. Charity is the fastest way to get rich. Charity is the fastest way to accumulate wealth. If you're talented, give it away. Give it away. Give it away now. Can't help me say that. Give it away. Most people, what they do is they have talent, and they say, my talent is valuable, and it is. But then they say, I'm not going to move unless I get this money to move. I ain't going nowhere because I know I'm worth something. Why I got to do this for free? I'm worth something. Everybody done told me that. I done got, But what you're doing is stagnating yourself in life. If you really have talent, and remember, I keep underlining this piece, if you really have talent, give it away. Here's my story. I'll come back to Cool Herc in a minute. I started in 1986. You heard the accolades here. My first record was called Criminal Minded. The first single was South Bronx. Now, that first album, Criminal Minded, 1987. This album, when it came out, it sold about 200,000 albums in like the first 2 weeks it came out. But we wasn't on a legitimate record company. We were all just hustling. And these records we made, and we just started slinging them out on the corner, anywhere we could find, we were selling our records. But then some guys that was distributing us, they got wind that we had a hot record. So they started distributing the record for us, and we thought we were doing something because, wow, we got big distribution now. I'm in Tower Records now. I could get, and we're doing it on our own. Make a long story short, we got ripped off. A year later, these clowns didn't want to give us nothing. Now keep in mind, I'm homeless. I'm living in New York City. I was homeless for 4 years. Lived in group homes, shelters, you name it. I'm homeless on the streets. One day I'm mopping the floor, because I used to mop floors for $25. Every time I mop the floor, I get $25 at this nursery. So I'm mopping this floor one day. I'm like, the radio is on. Suddenly my record comes on the radio. Oh, South Bronx, South Bronx. I was like, oh, word. Okay, but I mind you, come on. Okay, mop. Oh, my record's on the air, and I'm mopping the floor like this. It's for real. In Brooklyn, Flatbush, Brooklyn is a nursery, a children's nursery. I'm mopping the floor. Record comes on. I'm like, wow, this is great. I gotta get a new job. I go back to the record company. I say, look, the record's on the air. No, they're only gonna play it for like a week or so. We locked up, and 2 months later, record is #1 everywhere. Records blowing up. They're selling these records. I'm homeless. I'm sleeping in the park, on trains, you name it. I said, look, I need some money to get out the street. I'm a star. my record is on the air. No, we ain't got nothing for you. I realized at that point, I'm getting ripped off. So what did I do? Don't revert back to hip hop. Charity. Don't waste time fighting legal battles. Don't unless you're a lawyer. Right. Don't stay with that. But if you're an average Joe, like me, don't waste time with too much legal fighting when you're trying to start your career, launch your career. Holding on to your talent always leads to disaster. If you are talented, like I believed I was back in 1987, when these people said I wasn't getting any money for this first album, Criminal Minded, the first thing I thought was, wow, this is, and let me also say this as well. Our whole company was run by black people. The whole company was run by black people. I just want to put that there too. And all of us got together. And what happened? The older blacks ripped off the younger blacks. You might want to take this business model into your career later on. Not trying to sound prejudiced or racist, but just telling you my story. My story was, and y'all know my albums from way back, I started out pro-black, Pan-African, civil rights, Black Panthers. And then I joined this record company of others that were talking the same talk. But when the money came in, suddenly all that revolutionary talk went out the window. Suddenly all that spiritual talk was out the window when the money fell. But I couldn't get caught up in that. And so what did I do? I said, look, either I'm going to go to jail because you are a dead man walking, or I'm going to back up off this and hear now the ultimate value. I'm going to let go. I'm going to let go. This is my first album. This is the album that's putting me on the map. It's 1987. I ain't got no other albums. I got to walk away. You guys are making $100,000 a week. A week. $100,000 a week on this album I did. And you can't give me nothing. And then on top of that, now to go further, I said, okay, I'm gonna let go. When I let go, miraculously, another person called me. And they said, hi, what's up? Hey, my name is Barry Weiss. And I run this record company called Jive Records. And we got one group named Houdini. You know Houdini? I said, yeah, I know Houdini. It's huge. Yeah, that's you. Yeah, we got a record out called Big Mouth. You got a Big Mouth. I said, oh, okay, well, what's up? You know, what did you say? Well, look, we got criminal minor. We think you the man. Okay, cool. I said, look, I got these people here. They got these papers. They're not letting me out this field. I'm ready to jump. What you got? See, business. I stepped away and found a more powerful partner than the ones I had. Forget fighting. It don't lead nowhere. Get more power. I went somewhere else, got some more power, came back. Y'all want to keep the album? Yeah, Chris, look, look, man. Listen, I'll give you $150,000. Let me out this contract right now. I know y'all greedy. Good, take this money. Because isn't that all you want? Right. Now keep in mind, me, I wanted the money too. I'm homeless. But my life was more important to me than the money or the work that I did, the legitimate work that I did. I deserve to get my money. I deserve to get paid. But I'm getting ripped off. What do? I keep moving forward with my goal and my purpose. You don't allow some of these things on the side to distract you from your goal, from your purpose. My purpose is to be an MC. Not to make an album. So when the album was made, fine, it's made, it's done. This other company, by the way, said they were going to give me $300,000 to sign to Jive Records. I went back to B-Boy Records and said, I'll give you half of it. Now, mind you, I'm not getting no money. They're ripping me off. And the first deal I get to get out of the contract, I give them half the money. I give them half the money. My whole crew was mad. Man, we in the street. Oh, man, you bugging. Da-da-da. Half the money gone, but now I'm free. Now I can do whatever I want. I went over to Jive Records, signed off, gave them the $150. Then Scott LaRock's estate came up. And that was about the only payment I felt good about. Scott LaRock was my first DJ. Actually made Criminal Minded with me, that he was fatally shot in the Bronx, August 27, 1987. And that happened also while I'm getting ripped off by this record company, while I'm mopping floors in a daycare in Brooklyn, while my record's playing on the radio every day. My man gets shot, killed, right there. Oh, it's enough to make you go, you know what? That's it. But of course, you only get the lessons in life that you are truly strong enough to handle. Any challenge you have in life, you do have the strength to overcome it. The only problem is doubt. That's the problem. But in 1987, I didn't doubt myself. And as a matter of fact, I say that proudly today because it was a decision. I was afraid making that decision. Man, I'm walking away from a big album. They're going to rip me off. I don't know what the next album sounds like. I don't know what I'm going to do. All of that came to my mind. But what was more important was the purpose for which I stepped out on in the beginning. I'm an MC. Here, look, keep that album, Criminal Minded. Go ahead and take it. A year later, I had By All Means Necessary, which was my second album. That album came out, sold 3 times the amount of that first album. Criminal Minded didn't start selling again until my 4th album, Edutainment, came out. When Edutainment came out in 1990, everybody went back to my first record. A new audience that now heard of me went back to my first record, and everybody started buying up Criminal Minded in 1990. But here's the point. If I held on to Criminal Minded, I never would have made 14 other albums. 14 others. If I had allowed these people to jar my mind and make me get angry, and because it was an injustice. It was clear injustice. But let me hit you to this right now. The only way to get to the top is to swim the sea of injustice. You are going to swim in the ocean of lies, deceit, greed, hatred, prejudice, all of it. And you can't allow it to get you down. You can't allow it. I be laughing at these black folk because I'm hip hop. I be laughing at these black folk who say, they say, I don't want to be racially profiled. They say, I don't want to be racially profiled. And I understand the philosophical part of it, judge me for my character, not because I love, until the basketball coach or talent comes to your university. Then you don't mind being stereotyped. The white kid could be busting your ass every week in the court. But because the talent scout from the NBA is now coming around, and all they want to see is a tall black man that can jump. That's it. That's it. Ain't no prejudice, ain't no racism, ain't none. This is business. Business. What works for our marketing here is a tall black man. If he got a bald head, that'll work even better. Suddenly, black folk are like, take me, take me. Hey, look, I'm black. Suddenly it becomes cool when it's to your advantage. And see, this is what we have to get with our truth and our principles. I'm not going to go here yet. Let me stay right over here in the political, social realm. Or moral realm. Ethical realm. Don't let momentary disappointments hinder and stop your entire life process. So many people, even in this room right now, you're trying to get somewhere. And there's someone or something preventing you. Why do I know this? Because it's the way of the universe. Anytime you want to get somewhere, there's going to be opposition. Why? Because you going through it means you're strong enough to receive. Weak people don't receive anything. They get thrown stuff. Weak people get thrown stuff. Here, take that. So if you catch on, you trying to catch it. It's weakness. And you cannot be weak in this world. People will tell you it's all right, be weak. It's cool. It's not hip hop. momentary distractions stop you from achieving your life purpose. Charity is the fastest way to wealth. Give your talent away for free. Let go of your talent and let it work for you. If you keep holding your talent into one place, it don't work. It don't work. You have to do your work and let it out into the universe. Now, some stuff, you can say, look, this group of writings over here, this is me, I gotta get paid for this. And you put that over there. But you gotta have another set of writings or whatever that you say, this is good stuff, but I'm gonna give this away. I'm gonna walk in the game giving this away. As an MC, the symbolism is this. When I walk into a club, usually there's, if the club is like 500 people or so, there could be at least 100 MCs, aspiring rappers in the audience. And I know this. So what do? I immediately get on the stage, and there's only two types of rappers. There's only two types of MCs that come to KRS shows. The ones that admire him and the ones that despise him. I love them all. I say, come on. Why? Because I'm going to give you something. Whether you hate me or love me, I'm going to give you something. And it's up to you whether you use it or not, but I'm going to give it freely. Why? Because I expand my existence through charity. I'll say it again. I expand my existence. Who I think I am, I expand myself by giving freely of myself. By expanding myself and giving freely of myself, I create more opportunities for myself. This is why KRS-ONE in the early days was an advocate of free music on the internet. Many hip-hoppers disagreed with me, or should I say many rappers disagreed. They said, oh man, free music on the internet, they're going to steal the music, we can't sell it. Well, I can't argue with that. If that's what you're in this for, you have a problem. But I'm in to be an MC, to expand. That's it. To be happy, to be at peace, to be aware. I don't care if my record sells or not, and that's probably a fault of mine. Like if there was one of my record company executives here, they'd be like, what did you just say? But my true feelings is it's not about the sale of the record. We can manipulate that, especially today. It's easy to go platinum. I mean, you manipulate. You manipulate the radio, you manipulate the video, you manipulate the magazines. Everybody's for sale. If you really want to be in everybody's face, you spend $1 million. That's it. That's all it takes. But the real, when you come down to the principles of what makes you successful as a person, come on back over to charity.
Excuse me, teacher?
Yes.
You got 30 more minutes?
Thank you. Keep me on time, please, sir. Thank you. Keep charity in mind. Don't always be so quick to pay or to get paid. To get paid. Don't always be so quick for that. Because in the long run, it never works out that way. A final example on that. Recently, the Jeep Corporation, Chrysler, I think it is, Jeep used one of my songs in their new Jeep commercial. And the reason I'm saying it like this is because I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. That I did a song in 1995. I did an album in 1995 called Strictly for the Break Dancers. We use that title in particular. Volumes 1 and 2. And it was an instrumental album. It was just KRS-ONE produced music. And I would say it's like 1, 2, 1, 2 or something on the top of it. I'll keep on bringing it and singing it. And say something on the top, and then I let the beat play. This album didn't go nowhere. It was just for B-boys. It was just like a DJ thing for B-boys to get. The album must have sold 5,000 copies worldwide. This was nothing. I did the album. I did it for a friend, a guy named Jeffrey Collins, who owned a record company at the time, and he needed a boost in his company. And so I said, all right, yo, I'll give you a boost. Here, sell these 2 KRS albums, here's some instrumentals, and you go ahead. Charity. He takes the albums, sells them. It helps with the rebirth of his company. That's on the side. But, what is it? 11 years later, somehow this album winds up at the corporate office of Jeep. And the people that are in charge of making the commercials for the car are saying, yo, this KRS right here, this will sell the Jeep. And I'm like, wait a minute now. KRS, what? I mean, I am outspoken against corporate structure. I'm the biggest mouth against hip-hop and commercialism. The biggest. But now take this into consideration. How life does you. I didn't ask for this. Didn't see it coming. Didn't call nobody. None. They said, the Jeep. The people who make the Jeep. They said, we've been fans of your music since day one. Since day one. And, you know, it would be our honor to have you associated with our Jeep car. And I'm listening to this like, this has got to be a dream. Because I'm looking at this, and sure enough, you know, because this was the discrepancy. The discrepancy was my friend, Jeffrey Collins, he signed off on the commercial because the record is legally his. I gave it to him. I said, go ahead and take it. So he had all the legal right when Jeep approached him. Hey, this is my record. Sign off. Give me the check. And they paid him, dealt with the record company, everything. I turn on the TV, I see my music on the television. Wait a minute. That sounds like something I did years ago. Calling Jeffrey Collins, he's like, yeah, I've been meaning to tell you. But I said, it's cool. That's my man, Jeffrey, no question. But then I said, well, look, Jeffrey, you know, I can't be involved in these commercials like this. You know, they're using my name. It's obvious they're trying to sell the car to hip-hop. You know, I got other questions with this. I mean, what can we do? And sure enough, ladies and gentlemen, I must say that not only did the Jeep Corporation get on the phone, little old me, but the advertising company, can't remember their names now. Global Hue is the advertising company. For you business majors out there. Global Hue. They got on too. And we all talked about how you enter hip hop if you wish to sell a product. Now this brings me now to the next piece. You got the first piece. Bring value to the people standing around you. It brings value to yourself and to your corporation. In fact, it builds your corporation. Charity. Give your talent away. Give your product away. Don't hoard it. Give it to as many people as possible. Because when your talent and or your product becomes part of people's lifestyles, that's when you become successful. You don't become successful with a good product that sells for 2-3 years and then it's over. You get this is a nice flash in the pan and it's done. You want to create something or be something that affects lifestyles, that affects a person's get up in the morning and go to sleep at night. And that could be anything, ideas, books, anything. Anything can do that. It just has to be brilliantly done. It just has to be a masterpiece. It has to be something that you can't get nowhere else. It has to be rare, unique, special. Each of you have this ability in you. Each of you. This brings me to this piece. Here. I'll get into this document later. But this principle here, the eighth principle, of the Hip Hop Declaration of Peace is what I discussed with G. And just, you know, we are recording, so let me just say, let me read it for those that might be listening to us in the future on tape. The eighth principle goes like this. Companies, corporations, non- and not-for-profit organizations, as well as individuals and groups that are clearly benefiting from the use, interpretation, and or exploitation of the term hip-hop, I'll get to that as well, and the expressions and terminologies of hip-hop, are encouraged to commission and or employ a full-time or part-time certified hip-hop cultural specialist to interpret and answer sensitive cultural questions regarding the principles and proper presentations of hip-hop's elements and culture relative to businesses, individuals, organizations, communities, cities, as well as other countries. This principle here is for all college students. In 10 years, really it's right now, but we don't have enough people who believe in themselves. But I would say in 10 years, you will be able to make way over $100,000 a year being a hip-hop cultural specialist. Laugh today. And we have to. Brings it into manifestation quicker when you're happy about it. But in another couple of years, this is going to make more sense to you when you now hold a degree and looking for a job or work. And you say, you know, I study hip-hop. I have a knowledge of hip-hop. I have a knowledge of hip-hop. I can guide your corporation through this culture with success. When I spoke to Jeep about this, it blew their minds. I thought I'd have to debate. I honestly thought I'd have to debate this issue. Why you should be hiring hip-hop specialists if you're going to sell Jeeps to hip-hoppers. They immediately called on. Immediately. And said, you know what, let's discuss it further. Let's talk further. When you get back off the call, let's talk. As I'm on the call right now. So I was like 2 weeks ago. And the point of the matter is, if this happens, you know, if G says, in addition to our marketing and promotion of our new car, we're going to hire 2 new executives, a man and a woman, to guide us through hip-hop. Do you know what this would do? Not only to our culture, but to the university system on a whole. Like, what does a job mean? And when you talk about the creation of jobs, this country's always talking about we need to create more jobs. Well, here's one right here. And here's one that all corporations that market to the inner city are in desperate need of. Not only is it right, but it's a need. And this is where, this is the marriage, right? This is the math of it, right here. Principle plus need gets you into the corporation. Your resume is worthless. Let me tell you right now. Sure, make one, study one, figure it out. But if you want to hear hip-hop's opinion, it's worthless. You know what's going to get you the job? Trust. Simple and plain. A good attitude. Responsible. Somebody that you can depend on. You can be an idiot. But if somebody can depend on you to show up when you say you're going to show up, you'll be the CEO of the whole corporation. As a matter of fact, most people wonder, how did they get that job? You sit there, you say, how did that person get that? I'm smarter than that. I have more degree, more validation. How did they get the job? Well, you know how. There's all kinds of ways to get word. All kinds of ways. It has nothing to do with your degree. Has nothing to do with that. This is the truth. So what does it mean when you leave school here with your receipt? I mean your degree. because you all have the ability to be successful. Don't rely on the institution. They're here to help you, not make you. This is an institution. It's assisting you in your educational process. But this is not the world. This is not even education. This is something else. This is preparing you for the job market. And it's a fair system, let me tell you. It's a fair system. Because if you don't want to do anything else with your life, then you deserve to go get a job. Jobs are cool. You know, these days, 11 million people ain't got jobs. So if you got one, try to hold on to it. But if you are a career person, a person with a purpose, a person who knows where they want to be in life, you got a vision of yourself in 10 years, getting a 9 to 5 is not cutting it. That's over. Let India have those jobs. Don't the outsourcing, let them jobs go. We don't need them in the United States. The United States doesn't need jobs. It needs work. There's a difference. Work has to do with your purpose. A job has to do with the fulfillment of other people's purposes. So either you get your work together, you get your purpose together, or you go get a job. Both are respectable, both are responsible. If you don't know what your purpose is, help somebody else figure their purpose out. Maybe you'll find yours. Who knows? But if you know what your purpose is, and you know what you want to be, you ain't got no time to graduate from college and drive a cab. So here now are some of the secret sciences, and I'll now begin to close this down.
Say you got 15.
Thank you. Here now, let me accelerate this to a metaphysical level. And I'm going to come off of the point of how do you really be successful? How do you land the job? How do you complete your career? A pleasant attitude. Pleasant attitude. You know, in college, they should teach you how to tell jokes. No, I mean, as a business, like as a business tactic, you should learn how to tell jokes and smile more and be pleasant and charitable to people. That attitude kicks in doors. It doesn't just open them. Knowledge and education will open a door. A good family name will swing a door open. But a good reputation, a good attitude, a positive disposition, that kicks doors open and you take prisoners. Let me tell you this. If you ever want to work at a corporation, enter the corporation like you're the CEO. Enter no job as an employee. Every job you enter, whether it be McDonald's, washing cars, driving cabs, or you're joining a law firm, whatever it is, enter it as if it's yours, like you own it, like you own this. And you come, matter of fact, forget a resume. When you walk into a job and you try to get a job, go to the person hiring and say, this is the solution to your company. You don't even know who I am. This right here is the solution. I have written it. Here it is. Boom. That's it. Right? Read this and call me back. And if you have talent, if you really have talent, because some of you in here are excellent writers. Excellent writers. Some of you in here are excellent thinkers. Thinkers. You shouldn't have to rely on a degree to feed yourself. You're way beyond that. Now let me get into this. Why do I put this emphasis on the degree? Because paper and validation is only our interpretation of power. If you believe that these are some notes. I was writing in the back. I was just doing a history of hip hop in this sense. Now, this is a piece of scrap paper. In fact, let me use this one. I ripped this off. It's a piece of scrap paper, right? Now, I wrote on this, and I wrote this on here. Now, this is how wealth is created, right here. Either I look at this piece of paper and I can say, this is just my scrap paper, y'all. This is my scrap paper. I was writing some notes on here. Now I'll read you the notes on my scrap paper. Sorry, this looks like this is true. Or I can say, this is my strategy for today's lecture. This is a historical document because it's also documenting my time with you here today. When I'm finished, I will sign this, and it will become a historical document for the school itself. Tomorrow, I'll run down to Michael's and get a frame for this, with my autograph on it as well. And by the way, before I go get the frame, maybe I'll pass this paper around to the entire room, and we all sign a little piece of it right here, so that future students may know that we gathered here today and had this discussion. Now, with that story on this piece of scrap paper, this paper instantly becomes valuable. Why does it become valuable? Because the person who wrote on it believes he's valuable. Listen to what I'm saying. When I was homeless, I would walk into jams. First of all, I'm 6'4". Let's start there. I'd walk in, 6'4". I'll keep on bringing and singing in 2 years, it's raining. Cats would go, oh my God, he got talent. Before you said I had talent, before you said, yo, he got talent, I walk in and I tell you, hey, listen, he said, what's your name? Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. Check this out. I'll keep on bringing and singing in 2 years, it's raining. Wow, you are who you say you are. This is it right here, y'all. This is it. Be who you say you are. Do you know how easy this is? This is simple stuff. Look in the mirror and create yourself. This is it right here. Look in the mirror and say, don't point in the mirror and say, you say, what's your name? Jane. You say, what's your name? Bob. This is how people speak of themselves. This is how we speak of ourselves. When you utter your own name, how do you say it? How do you bring you into existence? How do you bring you into existence like, oh yeah, Bob. So you just eat yourself out. You brush yourself out a little bit. But of course, with no money, no power, no political nothing, no nothing. If someone asks you your name, you can say either Jane or Super Jane Ski. Check this out. How people bring and say, what story do you tell of yourself? You know, the first major rap record was Rappers Delight. And it was done by 3 guys, Master G, Big Bang Hank, and Wonderbot. They comprised a group called the Sugar Hill Gang. These guys were broker than, they were poor. They, or as we say in the South, poor. Beyond poor. But in their rhymes, they said, I got a Lincoln Continental and a sunroof Cadillac. So after school, I take a dip in the pool. Pool? Sunroof Cadillac? Credit card, checkbook, more money than something you could ever stand. They didn't have none of that. But by speaking it, they got it. by believing in the character that they put on a record, by them believing in their own hype. They believe their own hype. I'm Master G. His name is Gordon. Okay? This is Gordon talking. Okay? And somehow you gotta ask yourself, when deciding between what is hip hop, it's this attitude that makes you go from being Gordon to God, you know, him. Everything you see is your interpretation, including yourself. When you look at yourself, see God. See the highest form of awareness possible. Don't ever look at yourself down or say, I'm such a sinner. I'm worthless. This stuff is killing me. I'm worthless. All my past, all the stuff I did in the past is making me guilty today. I can't really be who I really want to be, because to be that, you got to be holy. You got to be righteous. At least that's what I think in my mind. In my mind, I got to be righteous to do that. I don't deserve my own dreams. This is how we think. I don't deserve my own vision because of who I am as a person. I don't feel good about myself, so I don't think I deserve to be successful. We got to get rid of that. And how do we get rid of it? Take this affirmation with you right now. This is the affirmation. I'm going to give you an acronym. Every time you feel guilty, say to yourself, I am giving up inspirational living toward yourself. Guilty. Giving up inspirational living toward yourself. Every time you feel guilty, you're giving up your inspirational living. G-U-I-L-T. Why? You're giving it up. Why is guilt an illusion? And why is it so important that you overcome it at college, at the college level? It's because of this. Guilt is an illusion because wisdom is the truth. And wisdom is not acquired by being a goody two-shoes. You don't acquire wisdom being holy. You don't acquire wisdom being righteous. Righteous people are not wise. You become wise after you've done the dirt. After you've been through, you are wise. What makes a person wise? They've been through something. What makes a person a wise person? They are experienced. How do you get experience? You gotta go through something. All of your past errors and mistakes are not errors and mistakes. They are degrees for you to teach others what not to do. Don't look at your errors as errors. They are your testimonies. Love yourself. Love your whole self. Not just the good part of you. Love the evil part of you too. Love that. I'm serious. Love the shortcomings. Don't fight against them. They make up the total you. Your shortcomings, once you come to understand them, don't fight against your cravings and desires and thoughts and all kind of craziness that comes. That's what makes you you. We had so many psychology students, probably who was back here, we was talking, most of our group, was taking up psychology as a major or minor. And it's so funny because, what do they call it? The father of, I guess, psychology or psychoanalytical thought, Sigmund Freud, now it's a known thing that he was a major coke addict. And it's like, now it's no big deal, is it? No one's changing the story, no one's changing the books. No one, and it's funny, it's like, wow, the father of modern psychology was addicted to cocaine. He was a crackhead, basically. still romanticizing. No. The books you're studying crackhead. Studying crackhead. But, no, he's not actually a crackhead. A crackhead has other kinds of immoral connotations to it. But I mention that because look at this. Look at it. He is addicted to cocaine. He comes up with some great theories, revolutionizing psychology, and we're all learning it today. Was he wrong for using cocaine, or was that part of who he was? See, these are the hard philosophical questions now that come up. When you really start to ask, who am I? Where am I going? How will I wind up in life? Here's my final point. Zen, how much time?
You can make that final point.
Hey, Zen. This is the final
Time
point.
now, teacher, but
Okay, let me bring it down. Because I want you to get this and understand this and to feel this. More importantly than listening to me, feel what I'm saying. It'll stay with you long. You are the greatest human beings on earth. Each and every one of you. I'm not saying that cliche. This is what made me me. This is what made me KRS-ONE. This is what made KRS-ONE. I was homeless. Nothing. No money. Nothing. But I believed that I was somebody. And when I put my talent forward, my friend told me I had some talent. My friend then became management. We then ran on. He started telling everybody how great I was. I started believing it. Everybody else started believing it. Suddenly, I'm in a different reality. I'm the same person, but I'm experiencing a different reality here. And you can enjoy the same success. What is the success that I talk about today? Here's success. Health, love, awareness, and wealth. We call it the H law. It's hip-hop's only law. HLAW. Health, love, awareness, wealth. So, follow that law. You'll be happy for the rest of your life. Like me. I can't stop smiling. And why can't I stop? Because all I do is diss MTV all day long. But that same MTV who knows I'm dissing all over the country, they know I don't agree with their programming. They know this. But whenever it's time to honor somebody, who do they call? KRS-ONE. VH1 is doing their hip-hop honorings. And they're going to record the honorings on the 7th, and it airs on the 15th of October. And me, I'm a staunch critic again against this commercialism. But because of that, I'm called by the commercial structure. This is the weirdest thing you can ever imagine. Credibility is the seat of wealth and power. Be the real you. The more you the real you, the more you can be you. The richer you'll get, the more popular you'll be. If you just left yourself alone, you would get to where you gotta go. If you just left yourself alone, like, well, what does that mean to leave yourself? It means it might mean being homeless. It might mean going to jail. It might mean having a baby. It might mean getting married. It may be getting divorced. It may be dropping out of school. It may be attending school. But you have to be you. You have to have the courage to be you. If you're in this audience right now and you're listening to me right now, and you're saying every day, look, if this is you, you say, I wake up, I know I want to be this, but I got to go to this school. And I go to this school, and I don't even know why I'm here. I don't like it. I'm not studying what I want to study. I feel like I'm wasting my time. Why am I here? If this is you, you should quit tonight. You should be out of this place. Tonight, you should leave this lecture and pack your bags and say, I'm out of here. Because you're wasting your life. This has nothing to do with how much money you got, how much money you don't got, what you know, who your family is. If you don't want to be here yourself, get out. Because you're wasting your life. There's only 10 people in this audience, really, that's going to make it. Take that in. There's only 10 people, on an average, in this audience, maybe 5, that's really going to make it. Like, take this reality in. The vast majority of people in this room will be driving a cab with a 4, 6, and 10-year degree. Oh, this is real. The person sitting next to you is a cab driver. I'm telling you, you have no time to waste. You have no time to waste. Every day that you wake up, look in the mirror and say, I am, and whatever it is you are. I'm the business major. Wake up. I am CEO. Not, I'm going to be. After I finish the schooling, I'm going to be. After I get out of college, I'm going to start my career. I'm going to start my business right after. That doesn't work. It never works. What works is right now. Right now. At the end of this lecture, if you're a business major, be it now. If you're a doctor, be it now. If you're an attorney, be it now. Do it now. Free your friends now. You don't have to pass the bar to walk in a court and speak on behalf of your friends. You don't. People do it all the time. They walk in, I'm going to represent myself. If you have a knack for law, like if you have a knack for it, because that's what it takes to get in. It's not about what you learn. That stuff got to be in your spirit, man. You got to be a lawyer to the core. You can't just want to be a lawyer because your father was, or your mother was. You got to be an attorney or a doctor or an architect, business major, computer science, any of that. You got to be that because it's your purpose. And when you follow your purpose, spiritual things happen. Spiritual things happen because the purpose is connected to the universe itself. Your purpose is not physical. Therefore, you have to deal with your purpose in a non-physical reality. And this is where the spirit world comes alive. This idea of God being all the way up in the sky or over there somewhere, get rid of it. Quick, quick, quick. That's a destructive, negative thought. God is us. That's it. We are manifestations of God. But let me hit you to this. Everything is. Everything. This podium is a thinking being. This is a thinking being. You think just because this wood was chopped down and made like this, that the wood is not still alive? You know, atoms, they say, make everything. Molecular structure, you know, atoms get together, make the molecules matter. Make you suck. But they said atoms think. Atoms has a function. Like, they know where they're going. They know what they're supposed to do. And they're responsible. Yeah. And if they weren't responsible, we'd be in a whole different reality. And this is where you get truth from, Paul, my philosophy major. This is where truth comes from. What's really going on in the physical world? Don't give me a theory. Don't give me an idea. Tell me how your idea operates in the physical world. How can I touch your idea? How can I get a hand on it? Well, the only beings that seem to be able to bring non-material ideas into physical existence are us. What a talent you have. Do you realize that everything you think is going to come to pass in your life? If you really knew that, you would be thinking totally different. You wouldn't feel sorry for yourself. You wouldn't point fingers and blame people. even though you might be able to. You know, I don't subscribe to this thing like you shouldn't blame people. You should be blaming. You should be judging and blaming everyone. Because people are responsible for your well-being or your failure. And that's just the truth. A good team helps you rise. A poor team helps you fail. If you fail, what, you can't say nothing about it? Responsibility. So in my 8th closing, I'll say this. In the Bible it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all its righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. The translation of that is, live a spiritual life, and things will come to you. You don't have to chase anything. You have to decide what life you want to live tonight. Tonight. I'm not an average person, as you know. So when I come into a room, I change the molecular structure of the room by being here. By me just being in this room right now, I set a historical precedence for hip-hop right now. By you being in this room right now, you set a historical precedence for hip-hop. The year 2020, the students of 2020 will look at this very tape, and they're not going to call you black, white, Latino, Indian, they're going to go through all that. 2020 is going to say, hip-hoppers gathered on this day. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say, oh, this is some hip-hop meeting at the university. It happened like 21 years ago, and yeah. And they'll go back and they'll look, and what they're going to look, they're going to look at the audience. They're going to look at the things that you ain't even paying attention to. That you're not even paying, like your clothes. You know you're wearing garbage right now? Like everything you wear is going to wind up in the garbage. Everything! Everything! This, everything. This body winds up in the garbage. Why chase after any of this stuff? Why chase after anything material when the moment you get it, it is deteriorating? Material items only work when you're looking at them. Once you acquire them, they melt in your hand. Once you have a Mercedes-Benz, you don't want another one. Once you have the BMW, you don't need another one. You have wisdom. I speak against commercialism in hip-hop, but let me take you deeper. Until you get the 8-bedroom house with the 5-car garage and the Olympic-sized pool, you'll never get it out your system. The want for it will come up. I'm not here preaching a holier-than-thou message. You know, I've overcome the world by engaging it. I didn't avoid the world. I went into it. I got the Benzes, the cars, the houses, the platinum, this and that and the other, all of it. And I got to a point. I said, well, dang, this ain't worth nothing. The Mercedes, let me tell you, don't drive that car in the rain. I don't care what Mercedes is talking. Don't drive no Mercedes in the rain. It slips, it's slippy. The back wheels are going haywire. You can't drive in snow or rain. The Mercedes is only good for dry weather. BMWs, the brakes go first, transmission goes second, electrical third. What I want a BM for? Sure, in the store it's shining, it looks nice, but once I get in it, now I gotta get the oil, transmission fluid, I gotta change the tires, I gotta wash this thing. No, live a simple life. Live a simple life. Not a poor life, not an impoverished life, a simple life. Live within your means. Anything you can get for free, get it. Most people people look down on free. They don't like to bargain for some reason. I'm a different type of rapper. These guys are on TV spending up all their money. See, that's not even the hustle. Back in the days, you want to hear the real hustle? The real hustle was keep your money in your pocket. You walk around, you may have who knows what in your pocket, but when you walk into a place, they give you stuff for free. That's really boring right there. When you sit down in a restaurant and eat $100, $200, $300 meal, and the manager comes out and says, that's on me. How do you get to that level? It's called respect. You may bring another rapper here to speak to you. They may speak of other things. Listen to them. That's their experience. My experience is respect. That's what I gave. That's what I looked for. That's what I wanted. Respect. Respect leads to good reputation. A good reputation leads to peace. That's what I wanted. Peace. Declaration of peace. That's it. I want to be tranquil. I don't care about money, this, that, and that. I just want to be at peace. And if money includes that, then fine, bring the money. Bring just enough money to the peace. The minute I got the peace, I don't need the money. Seek peace. Seek a simple one. These are the techniques that are going to make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. These are the techniques that will get you where you got to go. When you get your degree, be a charitable person. Don't hoard your degree to yourself. Teach others what you learn. Save other people from the anguish that you're going through right now. You know you racking your brain right now. When you get your degree, go somewhere. It could be the suburbs, the hood. Who cares? Go back to wherever you came from. And say, look, I can tell you everything. I can give you a 4-year education in 4 hours. Because after you learn all of this stuff, you know that's the secret. That's what every scholar realizes at the end of the graduation. They say, man, I was here for 10 years. So I was here for 10 years. This stuff only took a year to learn. Everything you learn, you can learn in a week. Why do you have to learn 4 years? It's a business. That's why. You got to string the payments out. But I say this to you not as a criticism, but as a motivation for you to do what you got to do. There's only 10 of you really hearing me here today, and I'm speaking to the 10 of you that are going to be successful, that are going to be responsible people, charitable people, visionary people, people who inspire other people. This is how you get successful. The more people you inspire, the larger you become. And so, Cool Herc, 1973. Africa Bambaataa comes out in 74. Phase 2, famous graffiti artist who invents bubble letter writing, comes out in 1975. Grandmaster Flash invents the scratch and the mix in 76. The term hip-hop itself is being used in 1977 by Lovebug Starsky and MC Cowboy, who was part of the Furious Five. Crazy Legs and the Rocksteady Crew were popular in 1978. The Sugar Hill Gang comes out in 1979 and introduces rap music to mainstream America. Funky 4+1 More, old school rap group, and Curtis Blow, the first MC to sign to a major label, they come on the scene in 1980. Dougie Fresh, one of the first beatboxers, probably the first beatboxer in our culture, Dougie Fresh, he makes his scene as Dougie Doug in 1981. Along with the Cold Crush Brothers, one of the first MC groups to harmonize and do routines, also come out with story rhymes, like the idea of telling a story in rhyme was popularized by a guy named Grandmaster Caz of the Cold Crush Brothers, the Cold Crush 4 or the Cold Crush Brothers. By the way, Grandmaster Caz wrote Big Bang Hank's lyric in Rapper's Delight. He was never given credit, and to this day, it remains a controversy. 1982, we start getting Wild Style, Style Wars, and 2020 does the first major interview on rap music, or really on hip-hop, because they covered rap music, breaking, and graffiti writing at the same time. Big up to 2020 in 1982. But you get the movie Wild Style, and you also get the movie Style Wars. These are movies that you have to have in your collection if you want to understand hip-hop for real. Get Wild Style and get, well, really it's Wild Style, Beat Street, and Style Wars. These three movies right here, these are very, 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 very good movies for the documentation of our culture. 1983, we get Run DMC. 1984, we get LL Cool J. 1985, we get the Beastie Boys, Roxanne Shante. 1986, KRS-ONE, Eric B. and Rakim. Biz Markie comes on the scene. 1987, you get Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy, Salt and Pepper, Heavy D. Oh, by the way, Heavy D is sort of like the mentor of Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy these days, or Diddy. What is his name? I don't know. I can't keep up anymore. But Heavy D is a very important figure in our culture because Heavy D is sort of like the beginning of the rap executive. You're rapping, but you also got a desk job at the record company. And this is Puffy was sort of like his assistant when Heavy D and the Boys was coming up. Puffy was like the assistant running around for Heavy D and Andre Harrell at the time. Andre Harrell, you know him from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, early rap group that was on the Sugar Hill Enjoy records label as well. I'm saying all of this too, by the way, not just for your own ears, but because we're recording this as well. And this is history, no doubt. 1988, hip-hop joins R&B, rock, jazz, and reggae. In 1988, we kind of went from cutting, mixing, and scratching and playing breaks, like MCs rhyming over break beats. And we went into combining rap over R&B, or rap over rock, or rap over reggae, or rap over jazz. That was 1988. 1989, we got Self-Conscious. We put out a record called Self-Destruction, where we raised $400,000 for the National Urban League toward literacy programs. No, you know what, I'll say that. I won't put that into history. 1990, the West Coast did a version of Self-Destruction, ending gang violence. This is not really documented the way it's supposed to be, but in 1990, the real leaders of the Crips and the Bloods and the Essays and other gangs in the Los Angeles area, the real leaders, got together and actually called a truce, actually put down the red and the blue, and it was monumental what they did in 1990 as gang members, as the ones doing drive-by shootings and so on, to actually be influenced by a movement, Stop the Violence movement, and really just the climate of hip-hop at the time. That was phenomenal. But it's not really written about. And some of you who are writers in here, there's a lot of good stories, dealing with hip-hop that needs to be written about. And I guarantee if you write it, you'll be a best-selling author. Because hip-hop is a fascinating story. If you could stomach it, if you could really write and really get gritty with it, and don't be scared to write certain things, you have a bestseller. All in the Same Gang, 1990. Heal, Human Education Against Lies, advocating civilization over technology, advocating that we are human beings before we are races, religions, and occupations. We're human. We should gravitate toward human consciousness. This is hip-hop. Hip-hop put this message forward to mainstream America in 1991. By the way, each of these movements, like the Self-Destruction record and Stop the Violence movement, these movements had all the major rappers of the time in it, which is why I say hip-hop spoke. All in the Same Gang had all the major rappers of the West Coast. See, there was unity, community. There was no, I don't know if I want to be part of it. Yo, that's a little conscious. He preaching too much. There was none of that. None of that. NWA showed up. Human education against lies is the same thing. You know, everybody showed out. MC Light, Latifah, LL showed out. This was the messages that we were putting forward that's being drowned out, by the way, in a lot of the hip-hop books that you read today. Big respect to anybody who can even write about hip-hop. We need all the books we can get. But if you are a serious historian on hip-hop, the objective approach doesn't work. You have to be subjective. You have to become hip-hop to write about it. Or go get those who are and interview them. But I would suggest each of you become hip-hop if you're going to write about it, or if you want to be an executive that's going to sell to our community. Pick up one of the arts. It's actually more in harmony with the culture if you are, say, an executive at Coca-Cola trying to sell a Sprite to the rap community. It would be cool if you could rap. It would be cool if you could break, if you could do grab. Like you yourself, as an executive, you were able to do it. Then, of course, when we all sat down, we'd sit down on equal level. We all know each other because we know each other through the culture. We know each other through the heritage. And that means we can't rip each other off. I can't rip you off. You can't rip me off. Why? Because we have principles. We have people that we respect. We have ancestors that built this, and we're not going to go against the principles. So, this is hip-hop, y'all. I end on 1991, and the reason I end on 1991 is because 1992 is when the West Coast comes and we change eras. 1971 to 1981 is the first era of hip hop, the first era. 71 to 81, we call it the light age. It's the age of awareness, when we came into awareness, 71 to 81. Most of what we're doing today was created in 71 to 81, that 10-year period we came into awareness. 81 to 91 is called the golden age. That's when everything we learned in the 70s we put to use. 91 to 2001 is called the platinum age. Everything we put into use, we now got back. Now we're millionaires. Now we're world known. Now we're influencing institutions. Now we're in the world. We are the mainstream that we were fighting against. After 2001, we are now in something that looks like the information age, where hip-hop is becoming more about information than the arts. In other words, more people know about hip-hop than can do it. So I would say to you, in my ninth closing, be hip-hop. Don't just buy it. Become it. Don't just listen to it. Adopt its behavior. Adopt the view, because it will protect you even from the institution. The institution wants you to succeed. They don't want you to fail. It brings down the institution. But only 10 of you are really going to succeed if we can keep it really real in this room. There's only like 10 of you that's going to make it. The rest of you are driving cabs and putting it to you just like that. The difference between the 10 and the rest of everybody else is your belief in yourself. When you look in the mirror and you say, I'll keep on bringing this singing into your ears, it's bringing what? I am who I say I am. I have the courage to be who I am, and I am that I am. When you have the courage to say that and really believe it in yourself, then you'll be successful. And what is success? Health, love, awareness, and wealth. Thanks for listening to me today.